Well, I'm Brad York, and this is my wife Erica, and our story of Jesus is our hope involves both of our sons. And for those of you that don't know, that we have two sons.
We found out we were pregnant in 2006. Had our ultrasound in February. We were really excited. The nurse came in and did the ultrasound and left to go get the doctor, and of course we knew at that point it was a boy, and we were really excited. We were making phone calls as we were waiting on the doctor, and
we have two girls, and so we were right in the middle of calling all the family and telling them it was a boy, and
we were already talking about baseball and playing catch and doing all the fun things that we do with boys. And then the doctor came in and told us that there was an issue, and kind of took away all the excitement that we had just had.
And they're finding something wrong with his brain. Didn't really know what it was, and then gave us the option, since things weren't perfect, to not go through with the pregnancy, which wasn't an option for us.
And they kind of had prepared us. It could be a range of things to where we may not know anything is wrong, to some pretty significant developmental delays. We were told at the time that they were expecting it to be moderate to mild, because he had no physical deformities that they could see on the ultrasound. So we were pretty hopeful, really, that we would be raising a baby boy that may have some learning delays, some developmental delays. And so I had talked to my principal and decided to take time off of school to stay with him and give him the extra care that he needed.
And then he was born, and when he went immediately, the doctors took him immediately, and diagnosed him with a condition much, much worse than that, called lessencephaly, which is a very, very rare brain condition. And the prognosis for lessencephaly is very poor. And so we were devastated, of course, and sad and angry and hurt.
Prayed hard that everything would be okay, and my everything was that my baby was going to be fine. We were going to bring him home, and we were just going to be raising him just like we did the girls. And God's everything was a little bit different than.
And when the Bible says that His ways are not our ways and His thoughts are not our thoughts, that's our story.
Mm-hmm.
He went through some surgeries that we went through, and eventually he got to the point where his body wasn't fighting off infections and that sort of thing, which I think was God's way of telling us it's all right. So we had told the nurses that he'd fought enough.
He spent his last night at the hospital. As a family, we had time for everybody to come and see him and hold him and love on him. And the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Is hold my baby as he took his last breath.
Yeah, and that's something no parent should ever have to do. So that was very hard, and then going through the visitation and the funeral and all of that was excruciating. And after that, even though some peace comes to that, both of us prayed a lot, still had lots of questions, still didn't understand, but knowing that he was well and that we were going to be with him again someday, gave us hope. And not saying it was easy, it was not easy. Decided that we weren't going to go through that again. That surely God didn't want us to go through that again. So we were going to take matters into our own hands and make sure we couldn't have any more children. And so I had scheduled my surgery to make sure that wasn't going to happen again, because we thought we were not strong enough to go through anything like that again. And so went for my consultation and my surgery and scheduled it. And sometime between that appointment and the surgery, God had other plans. And so she said she was pregnant. And so while a lot of times those are really happy times, I think we were both scared to death. That was a hard few months. A lot of praying, because the doctors were telling us they didn't know if this could happen again. The condition was so rare, but those that it does happen in, it tends to happen again. And so they scheduled us with an expert who we saw regularly, who eventually told us to quit coming in there, that he was fine. And we say he because it was a boy too. Today we have if anybody of you've worked in the nursery, you know, a wild and crazy 5-year-old boy, Beckett, and that we wouldn't have today had everything gone our way. And so we're thankful to God every day